and welcome to another video. Today's video I am doing a book recommendations video where I'm going to be recommending some books to you guys. Just a precursor, I've been on Instagram live right now. If you want to follow my Instagram, I'll leave the link down below. So I have been trying to look for this book that I really wanted to put in this video, but I think I've left it in Oxford, so I'm gonna have to wait to put this certain book which I'm absolutely infatuated with in another video. For those who are wondering what it is, it's The Storyspinner by Becky Wallace. I'll leave the Goodreads link down below, but I'm going to talk more about that in another video. But I'm going to recommend some books to you today because I feel like it's time for a book recommendations video because I haven't done one in a while, so I'm going to crack the fuck on. I think starting off, we're going to talk about Caravelle by Stephanie Garber. This is one of the most interesting novels I've read. I did have a couple of issues with it, but on the majority, this was a unique novel. It is most probably one of my favourite of this year. Just like my issues with it was so tiny, really tiny, like minuscule. I loved her use of colour. I loved this kind of mysterious magical world of this carnival, this circus. Is it real? Is it not? It's like magical realism, but fantasy, but not. It was just so incredible, and the way she writes is so clever. Like, she comes up with these scenarios and situations which you think, oh my god, how's this? And then like the answer to those scenarios and situations is like, oh my god, you're such a clever writer. So yes, Caravelle. Recommending like an adult fiction novel, new adult novel is Alex Mandan's new novel, Murder on the Champs-Élysées. I'm gonna still need help pronouncing that name, but this is a murder mystery novel set in the 1900 Paris, and it's about this guy, this investigator who's dealing with this murder, but he's also gay, and being gay in Paris in the 1900s isn't really a good thing. You're not really loved for that. So he is going through some times because somebody's trying to out him, and he's trying to solve this murder. It was one of the really interesting reads again. I love the world. It obviously is modern day, but just being in that time era in Paris was so wicked to be in. I really liked the main character as well. I really related to him, especially being back in the day when I wasn't out. Obviously, I'm not an investigator solving murders in the 1900 Paris, but he is, and he's, you know, internally struggling with his sexuality and hiding it from people because, you know, external dangers of being gay back in the time. So loved it, really recommend it, and I love the fact that it's an LGBT own voice novel. So Alex Mandan, you're my fave. Goodreads link down below. Boo. Because I'm like slightly excited, I'm going to recommend A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab, which is the third and final book in the Shades of Magic series. I always get the series name wrong. I know you guys are all going to correct me in the comments, but this is the third and final book in this series by V.E. Schwab, and I'm currently reading it, and I'm absolutely fucking loving it. Like, seriously, get this book now, get the series now, and read the series. Elemental Control, adult, I think it's like adult fantasy actually. I don't think it's YA, but it's so captivating. That's weird. It's on the front of the book. Must be true. So it's just such a wonderful novel about people who can jump between alternate Londons and magic, intrigue and betrayal and magic and romance. And next I'm going to recommend another fantasy series, and that is Trapped in Silver by Emily Soudan. This series was so good. I love the main character in the series, Ava. She's a sassy, feisty girl. She doesn't take shit. Like, she's just wicked. I love the fantasy world too, this unique idea of these different races of demons and berserkers. Demons aren't demons like we know them to be. They're like fae in a way. They're magical beings that protect the human race, and then the berserkers are tormented and poisoned demons who are tormented by dark power and become evil, these evil creatures. And it's about this long immortal kind of war between these two different races of magical creatures, and this girl getting stuck in between and having a very key part in it. It's filled with magic, filled with mythical beasts, filled with just magic and intrigue and romance, and Ethan is so fucking hot. Ethan, I love ya. Next I'm recommending Assassin's Heart by Sarah Iris, because I think you guys need to read this book. I'm sick of not seeing people talking about this book as much as I feel like it should be talked about. This book is an assassin novel. Obviously, after reading the Throne of Glass series, I was dying and gagging for another assassin's novel, and I found one, and by God, it is so good. Like, seriously, so good. I love assassins. I love this series. I think it's fantastic. I think it's interesting. The whole use of ghosts in this is wicked, and the whole use of different assassin kind of groups is really interesting. I can't wait for the sequel. Sarah Iris is a very interesting author, so if you like the sound of that, I really do recommend you go and check it out. Like, seriously. And last but not least, another fantasy, because apparently I love fantasy, and this is an adult fantasy novel, and that is The Alchemists of Lune by Elise Cover. Just such a good fantasy series. Elise Cover is just a word weaver. She knows how to write books, and I love everything she's done so far, and Alchemists of Lune really is one of my favourites. It just, the detail of the fantasy world about this girl who again is kind of like an assassin creature, and then dragons and the people from the different worlds, and the magic and the intrigue and the escape and the survival and the race against time elements, and just like the fact that she's introducing and world building so incredibly well. I'm like dying for it. I'm like, I need book 2 now, please. I think it's called Dragons of Nova. So yes, I'm really excited about reading this and reading the sequel to this. this, and this is wicked. So if you like fantasy, I recommend you check this out. So there you have it. They're all the books I'm recommending in my book recommendations video. Let me know down below in the comments if you've read any of these, if you want to read any of these, or if you have any books that you want to recommend me. Give this a massive thumbs up. Please do subscribe if you're new, and if you are liking these videos, click on that little bell button and you'll be notified for when I post. So thanks so much for watching. I will see you all again so very soon. Thank you. Bye.